Good evening, Cebu. Good evening, Philippines. I am Mike Lopez and you are watching Open Mic. We are here at the MyTV studios at JY Square Mall, taped with a live audience, and tonight our guest is one of the most bankable leading men in show business today. And he is also an appointee of President Noynoy Aquino, National Youth Commissioner, Commissioner at Large, Dingdong Dantes. Dong?
Mike, thank you for having me.
It's nice to see you here in Cebu.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. NYC sounds familiar.
Yes, very familiar. I occupied the exact same post as
Commissioner at Large. Yes.
And I think, I don't know if you know this, at some point, we were actually being considered for the exact same post at the exact same time.
I think no, I was way far, and my commitment at that time was not really so much there yet.
But I remember there were some people lobbying.
Yes, that's right.
I heard, this is the first time I think people are learning about this. This was back in 2006.
Yeah, thereabouts.
And I was shortlisted, and some people told me, hey, a lot of people are lobbying for Dingdong. I said, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose. If that's the case, how can I beat Dingdong?
No, I don't think so. I would go for you.
I know,
I'd go for you.
I was just lucky that at that time, I think my papers were almost signed.
Yes, that's right.
But it worked out for the best because now we're able to, I was able to serve and you're there.
Exactly, and it's such a great feeling.
How is it so far? You were appointed in December?
No, May of last year.
May of last year.
For me, it's a complete turnaround in terms of perspective, and of course, since I've been in the business for 17 years, so and then something adds up to my list of priorities, diba, and engagements.
And then you're a father to be.
Soon to be father, yes, of course. So parang it just strengthened really my commitment to be serious in all the things that I engage in. Much more now that there is a greater responsibility lodged in my hands, diba? So I really take things seriously right now as compared to before.
But when you were appointed, of course, as with any decision of the president, there is controversy attached to it. No? And I am a critic of the president, and other critics were quick to pounce on the issue. Why Dingdong Dantes? Because they're friends. But I said, to be fair, you've been at it. You've been doing youth work for a long time.
That's right.
Even before I was with the NYC.
Mga ganon. I remember being part and being one of the volunteers of NYC since 2001.
Yes, and DepEd.
And DepEd, that's right.
With Joey Pelaez.
With Joey Pelaez and Richina Lupta, Gerald Ortiz. I mean, these are my mentors when it comes to serving the youth. And until now, they're there behind me to...
Joey is now Vice Governor.
Vice Governor, di ba? Yes. To support and give advice on what to and what not to do.
That's why I was saying, he deserves it because way before he was appointed to the Youth Commission, he was already engaged deeply in youth work.
Thank you.
And always pro bono, that's what I know.
That's right, until now.
I remember the first time I met you was here in Cebu. You were at the DEX, it was still DEX.
DEX pa.
Department of Education, Culture and Sports. So you see, that is a giveaway on our age. But it was DEX. And Joey brought you here, and that's when I first met you. I was not yet in government. I was a youth leader, like most of our audience tonight.
Yes, that's right.
The youth leaders of USC from
Round of applause for our youth leaders here.
And junior JCs. Who else is here? There was someone from USJR. No? So yes, I was much like them when I first met you, and of course you were already a big star.
No, hindi. Starting lang din. Hanggang ngayon naman, starting pa lang din.
So far, now that you're in the NYC, what are the committees that you handle?
I chair the Committee on Environment and Education.
Good. That's my favorite. Environment. I chair the same thing, although at the time, during our time, it was called Sustainable Development.
Sustainable Development.
Yes.
I see.
So what have you done so far in those committees?
Well, in the Committee on Education, when I arrived, the program that the agency was pushing for is the program called Abot Alam. It's a program for out-of-school youth wherein we have to map out all the between 4 to 5 million OSYs and engage them into number one, bring them back to school via ALS. Pangalawa is alternative learning system. And then second is to make them entrepreneurs. And third is to employ them. So these are all in cooperation and in partnership with the different agencies such as TESDA, DOLE, and even the private sector. So it's still a work in progress, but right now As we speak, we have mapped out around close to 2 million OSYs already.
Wow.
And 70% of those are engaged into ALS. So if we can see the priorities, it's really for them to go back to school. And I guess the efforts of DepEd and NYC is to really bring the school to their places, because most of these students, learners as the term calls for them right now, are really deep in the black and red areas wherein they have no access.
What did you take up in college?
Marami. Marami. So, ang una kong kurso na kinuha sa college ay
What do you
psychology.
marami? You shifted or you took like
Tatlong lugar ako nag-college eh. Una ako nag-college sa San Beda. I took up philosophy there and HRM for 2 years. And then I transferred to Ateneo for 5 years. Pero light load ako nun because I was a working student. So I took up IS, Interdisciplinary Studies, so which involves communication arts and management. And then I finished it in West Negros University in Bacolod just last year.
Are you Ilonggo?
No, I'm not, but I have roots. I have roots,
really?
yes.
You
And I
speak?
understand a bit. I can speak a few
Intindi
words.
ka. So we have interns here from Iloilo. Josh. Wait. Joshua, no? Yeah.
That's what. Hey, man.
Well, I'm supposed to read questions at the end, at the very end, no? But I'm very interested to hear your answer. My friend Stacy Alcantara, she's a diplomat, and she's here in town for the APEC
The
Summit.
APEC, oh.
And
Is she the one in your picture last night?
yes, that's her.
Yeah, your friend.
You're stalking me.
I am.
No,
I even searched if you tagged her, so I want to take a look at her profile as well.
yes, because she's very beautiful and
can see that.
very accomplished. You know, that girl, I would want to have her on the show as a guest.
Maybe the third one after me.
Yeah, because, my gosh, President Student Council, summa cum laude, editor-in-chief,
Wow.
Miss Siliman.
Wow.
I mean, that's everything. And then she topped the Foreign Service exams, and that's why now she's in the Foreign Service. And she texted me this question. She's on her way, so you get to meet her.
Okay.
What should be done in order to develop a culture of critical thinking among the youth here in the Philippines? And I put this ahead of all the other questions because really, that is for me one of the bigger issues that we face. You know, first is quality education, but really the aim of quality education is to create a culture of you know, not just educated people, but those with, you know, young people.
That's right.
With critical with a critical approach to problem solving and well, life in general. So, what do you think are
I
the
think
things that can be done?
nowadays what is crucial is citizen participation in all aspects. And that is very transparent, especially in our involvement in social media. Because we are faced with so many platforms, so many information, and that it is upon us to decide and decipher which information is useful, which is not, which is needed, which is bogus.
Correct.
And then, if we practice this process always, di ba, in discerning kung ano ba yung impormasyon, ano ba yung talagang kailangan natin. And even if we do that even in our small time, in our home, doon pa lang we get to practice already critical thinking. And especially if it is issues-based, if everyone is talking about it, you cannot help but give your opinion about something, or even just read the opinion of other people. Just by reading the opinion, you can also shape your opinion. At the end of the day, after going through all these platforms, meron ka ng sarili mong stand about something. And I guess this is a practice that we should all develop and pursue later on.
Sometimes we like to speak our mind, which is good, and it's afforded us by our democracy. But you mentioned reading other people's opinions or listening to other people's opinions. I think one step toward being critical-minded is the ability to listen to, you know, different perspectives and to come up with your own before you even speak up. No?
Kasi sometimes we become too emotional about things, about topics, diba? So
Especially politics.
It's politics and
showbiz.
so anything. So we tend to make the emotions come out first, and then later on, when it's out there in the social media, in the web, parang we tend to, oh shit, parang I wanna take it back. Parang,
at least you can edit on Facebook
you
now.
can't do that anymore, diba? So also there lies yung pagpopolice ng iyong what to release and what not to.
Yes.
Diba? It's part of your responsibility as a so-called new millennial journalist.
Is that something that you feel the need to share every time you're given the opportunity to speak to the youth?
Also, yes. Kasi kanina nga, there were very interesting questions
because
raised by...
Commissioner Dingdong Dantes just came from the University of San Jose.
That's right. Very interesting questions about youth issues. And one of those is tinatanong nila, so, kanino kami maniniwala when it comes to receiving information, especially through social media and all these platforms such as radio, TV, magazines? We are bombarded by so much data, so much information. And I told them that we can all be journalists, but there is such a thing as responsible journalism.
Yes.
That's why people are called professionals, because they go through a process, they study it, and there are ethics behind it.
Correct.
Diba? So, yes, we can be journalists, but also we have to be aware of the responsibility that is with it, that comes with it.
Goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand.
Very interesting conversation we have with Commissioner Dingdong Dantes of the National Youth Commission. But we need to pause for a short break. We'll be back.
Yes.
Back here on Open Mic with NYC Commissioner Dingdong Dantes. Dong?
Yes, Mike.
So far, have you visited other countries representing the Philippines as NYC Commissioner?
Yes, just this one opportunity wherein the ASEAN Summit happened in Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was a couple of months back, or 3,
Yes.
mga ganon. So, the process was, I was just there when our Malaysian counterpart delivered the solidarity message to our youth leader, to our leaders, the president was there.
I think I saw your picture also on Instagram.
That's right.
I was also stalking you.
Talaga. So para sa akin, it was a different experience representing the country. Even though I didn't say anything, I was just seated there.
It's totally different.
It's totally different, knowing that you have the flag in front of you.
The flag pin pa.
The pin also.
That was one of the issues that I felt very strongly for when I was in the Youth Commission, because I felt that the NYC Commission and Bank, I still feel very strongly about it, that we have to choose the travels that we participate in, and they have to be mandated travels. Like senior official meetings or ministerial meetings in the ASEAN or the UN. So I'm glad that the only travel you've had is with the ASEAN Summit, because that is a mandated travel. It is not one of those junket travels that sometimes the NYC officials, that was for me the meat of the controversy that I figured into, because I was fighting that they were trying to get slots to benefit them from young people who could have availed of the program.
I see.
So I hope that's something that you can also champion. That international programs, if they're not ministerial, if they're not mandated for the officials, should be really solely for young people.
That's right. To give them also the equal opportunity.
Yes. Because there are very few.
That's right. Oh, si Com Earl Saavedra is the commissioner heading the Committee on International Affairs, and I will make sure that for this to reach him.
I made seeing it my agenda, but I really have.
I think it's being done in some of the programs as well. But again, it's him who's heading it.
This is your foray into government service, and you are ranked as NYC Commissioner, Assistant Secretary, and that's like 4 salary grades lower than the President of the Republic.
That's right.
So this has given you a lot of experience and exposure in government work and meeting young people all over the country, not as an actor but as a representative of the state. And there was talk just a while back that you might venture into politics. But you kind of, I think, declined already.
Yes, I have.
But it's okay to change your mind.
Hindi, para sa akin, it's about setting your priorities. And for me right now, the most important reason that's why I'm doing all these is because of the family that I am about to have. Diba? And I think it would be unfair also for the Filipino youth, the sector which I am serving, if I will think of my personal gains first rather than my job, which is to serve them.
But ultimately, you would want to pursue...
I have not really thought about that deeply. Ang sa akin is first things first. First things first.
But there was a time that you actually considered it.
Well, you know what? Way back 2004, even in the local politics that were happening in my district, may mga ibang nag-i-invite. But at that time, again, I would always go back to priorities. My priority at that time was to make TV shows and movies and engage in other youth stuff. Yes, priorities change from time to time.
But now,
and they evolve.
Because you are there in government.
Yeah, you know what? Again, babalik ako sa realizations. It's really different if you come face to face with your constituency and then you feel and know exactly what is needed. And pag alam mo na, wait, I can't give everything that you need. And then there comes the fire, there comes the urge and the passion for you to want to do something more, eventually.
Eventually. So meaning, at some point, you may...
I mean, anyone would, I think. Given that experience of knowing what can be done and what is needed.
Are people still courting you? Are there quarters that are still courting you up to now?
Well, there are
So there
a few
are.
talks. A few talks. But klaro naman. And if ever I engage in conversations as such, I will always make sure that it will be issues-based. So what will we talk about? Okay, ang kakulangan natin dito i-increase natin ang binibigay nyo ng budget sa mga state universities. Ang issue dito ay paano natin pagagandahin ang Abot Alam program kung saan ang mga ang nagbe-benefit dito ay mga OSY. Ano bang issues natin sa climate change? So it can be in that conversation and okay lang yan kahit sino man.
So the issue, if for example, hypothetical, you run for office, let's say senator in 2016. Say you change your mind because I think people can change their minds. No? What would be the top 3 issues you would champion if elected into the Senate? For example. For example.
Pwede bang barangay muna?
Well,
sige, issues na lang.
Whichever
issues
position,
na lang,
whichever position
sige.
in government, 3 issues that you feel.
Well, ako hindi na ako lalayo sa kung ano yung na-expose na ako. Of course, definitely it's youth issues pertaining to education.
Yeah.
And like I really feel strongly about having free education for everyone, especially in the state universities, not having to shed out even a single peso. You know, I think yes, it is the state's right to provide until secondary. But I mean, why not later on, as we develop together with our country, maybe we can reach there someday. And so many other issues, such as having like the study now, pay later program, if in case it will not fly, diba? And environmental issues could also be of great interest for me.
Trees in the cities.
Trees and
because they cut a lot of trees. DPWH. What is the price of development?
And you know what? Yeah. Going out of the policy level, policy conversation, it's really about setting a different mindset about climate change, perhaps. If we are faced with climate change issues, we are always scared about what will happen. So the image always is, okay, here's a flood. Okay, here is excessive rain. Here is tsunami, etc., etc. And then we become scared. But the thing is, these are issues that we really cannot avoid, and
we have to get ready.
Yes, we have to get ready. So the challenge is, how do we work around it? We have to change our mindset that whatever happens, this will occur. So maybe what we can do is make the most out of the summer season, di ba?
Yes.
Make it longer, of course, and employ more people in the Bay areas. You know, examples as such. It's really more of creating a different mindset rather than, yes, let's do it on the policy level. But they can work together hand in hand. Di ba tayo sa NYC, we are purely policy. And then we do not realize and we cannot see the output because we only hand over the policy to the agencies kung sino man yung mag-i-implement. But it's also my dream one of these days for NYC to actually become a department. Because imagine we are 30 million strong. And young people, and that will still increase given the also increase of our population in the coming years.
But there's a population control program. Do you think it will have an effect?
Well, I think that definitely dadami pa yan, di ba? So, meron at meron yan. But the thing is, it's a growing number, and I think given the momentum, the upward momentum, I think it will remain that way.
You know, I'm very curious if at some point you venture into politics, you know, because it's not impossible. Since you're already in government and you have issues that that you've adopted, will there be a time that you will actually choose between politics and show business? And that's the first. The second, what do you think? What do you say about those politicians who still are very active with their showbiz work? Because you were talking about priorities.
That's right. Okay. I am privileged right now to still exercise my other activity to be an actor. But of course, my main priority is to serve our nation. Okay, let's make that clear. But right now, my mandate is as commissioner at large.
Yes.
But what if, you know, my task becomes greater, if let's say head of agency, etc. What if lang? I will have to sacrifice one. You cannot serve two masters, especially if you're serving 30 million people.
Yes.
So you will have to choose one eventually. But I feel strongly about the industry, the entertainment industry. I feel strongly about it that I don't see myself leaving totally or 100%. But right now, I'm also building legacy for the future generation, the ones that the new ones that are coming. But I can always be behind them to support. I can always produce. I can always help provide content.
That's
and
right. Because content is king.
Content is king. But it does not mean that I will totally veer away from my passion towards the industry.
Is it your first love?
I believe it is. I believe it is. But it's there. And I also believe that whatever passion I have for the entertainment industry is fueled by my passion to serve. And whatever passion I have to serve is fueled by my experience in the entertainment industry.
That's nice. More questions and more answers when we come back here on Open Mic. We're on our last gap with Commissioner Dingdong Dantes. We were talking about priorities, and
yes,
when we were on a break, you were saying that last year it was very difficult for you to choose.
That's
and it was a nightmare time management experience for you because you had your wedding, had your showbiz commitments, and then you have this.
That's right.
NYC, and so now you said you cut back on your showbiz work.
That's right. So right now I let go of.
That's millions in losses, no? I mean.
Well, the thing is, I'm surviving. That's the most important thing. And ang mahalaga naman ay these are commitments that could possibly be put on hold. But like the television aspect can't because I also have engagements.
But you're losing so much, so because it's not just the millions that you would have gotten from your showbiz projects, but I know from the staff, because I'm still friends, you know, with a lot of the staff there who have been the staff since time immemorial, that you do not even get your NYC salary.
That's right.
You donate it to projects, to youth, and to the staff. So it's really a lot of money that's not making you rich.
Sige, let's talk first about what I see is happening. Okay, definitely I was talking to you about implementing programs and producing policies. Okay, on the onset, when I entered the agency, I realized that there is really not enough funding for us to implement the proper programs. There is, yes, but if we want to go the extra mile and really go extensively to a direction wherein NYC has never reached before, I mean, you really have to shed out money. And I mean, I hope that in my small contribution, I lessen that burden of having to go through Congress and defend for this kind of a budget.
Budget hearings.
Budget hearings.
Arduous things that you have to go through.
That's right. And I believe that these small sacrifices They go places as well, especially for the staff who have been there for years.
Yes.
I mean, commissioners, we come and go.
Yes.
We stay for at least 3 years and sometimes a little more, and then we go, but they remain. And what is more fulfilling in my job, or in our job, is really the results you see, the people you encounter. I don't think no amount of money, it's fulfilling, no amount of money could equivalent to that.
But congratulations, kudos to you, because that's a very commendable gesture. No, I mean, I don't know of anyone who's actually done that. Before we started, I posted on Facebook that we're having you, and then so we have a few questions to read from Haji Balahaja. This is quite controversial. This is all the way from Davao. Haji has been very active with the youth for quite some time now. How can NYC be insulated from political infighting and divisiveness of a president who is perceived to be very envenomed with the previous administration?
Okay. Of course, yes. The officials running the agency are appointees.
Yes.
But the issues are actual issues that we are facing and that we are fighting for at the best that we can. Again, regardless who comes, who goes, the issue remains. So what's important is for those appointed and those who are given the authority to deal with these issues and finish them and really act on them. Because otherwise, kung iiwan lang din natin yan according to our interest, because probably people have different interests that's why we engage in certain programs and projects. So it becomes self-serving rather than really serving your constituency. So kailangan talagang you just have to do your job and
focus on the job.
Focus on the job, and whatever happens in your surroundings, political or not, what's important is that this is my mandate and I have to finish it.
There's a very I should say interesting question from Weber Amores. Very interesting and timely. Weber Amores is an Ayala Young leader. I don't know which batch, but should your eldest child, which you said your child is
Girl.
Okay. I was gonna ask if you can announce.
Well, of course.
Your eldest is gonna be a girl. So should your eldest child be gay, so meaning lesbian, what will be your paternal move in nurturing the child and protecting your family, given the stigma in this country? I think it's a very timely and very valid.
Alam mo,
how would you feel if your eldest child was gay?
Ganito nga eh. Just 2 nights ago, I was talking to my wife about stuff related to that. Sabi siya, I will give my daughter all the options that she needs, that she has, and that she could want later on. Sabi ko nga, first on my list is that I will teach her to play the drums. Sabi ko, sige, pagawa natin lahat ng gusto natin. And at the end of the day, it will be her choice. It's like bringing her to a school and having so many options. Okay, what club will I go to? Dito ako sa music, sa glee club, sa sports, sa
smorgasbord of
ping pong,
choices.
holin, kung saan man yan, di ba? At the end of the day, I will make her try everything, and kung saan siya maging komportable at kung saan niya mas magustuhan, doon kami. Just the same way as her choices and preference when it comes to her own self. Of course, as parents, we would be there to back her up 100%.
Regardless. Whether your eldest daughter would want to be with
a woman. Of course. And para sa akin, more importantly is our task as parents to teach the child to become, ito yung term namin mag-asawa, mabuting tao. Di ba? Mabuting tao. Yun ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat. Iba ang mabait, pero iba ang mabuti.
That's right. I don't know if I'm mabait or mabuti.
I think you're both. I think you're both.
Akala ko mas maganda.
At maganda. Di ba? Maganda.
3 M's.
3 M's.
That can be a slogan if I run for office.
Diba? I like that.
From Walter Ibanez Banyel. As a Catholic, you will reconsider the legality or consider the legality of gay marriage here in our country? And will you also be in support of the rights a number of Filipino youth belong to the third sex have? Why or why not?
Ako,
I'm reading from...
Yeah, I mean, para sa akin, who am I para pigilan ng isang bagay that is really happening? And if the basis is love, I mean, love already won, so make love win. So para sa akin, yes, I am Roman Catholic. I exercise my being a Catholic But I am also in no position to make decisions, judgments, and policies about that. There is a greater being, and I always look up to my leaders, and just like what Pope Francis said, sabi niya, who am I to judge? Diba? Which is true. Tinamaan din talaga ako dun. And really, who are we to judge?
But it's one thing to judge, and it's another thing to enact a law.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah. That's different. Well, is that the question? Are we leading towards that?
Yeah, it's really more on legality of
on the legality.
It's not so much whether it is a sin or you should judge gays. Yeah. In our country,
yes.
Considering the social milieu, social-cultural milieu.
Yes, I would go for it. I'd go for it.
Despite being, what are you, 85% Catholic?
Yes, despite. Okay. I'd go for it.
Okay, internet. Michael Cotia is asking about internet because Senator Grace Poe, we had her last week, no? And when she spoke in USC, she spoke of the third issue that she feels very strongly for, representing young people, that I think is very important to young people, is internet connectivity. When we were kids, it was really not an issue. But now, connectivity is a human right. It is a human right. It's
like the air we breathe.
Yes, the UN has actually declared it a human right.
Okay. So it's part of the new MDGs, huh?
Yes, I guess so. And we are lagging. If I remember correctly, Senator Poe said that we are last. Well, I think worse than us is Afghanistan, and they had a war there. And then the next in Asia is the Philippines.
Yes.
And it's very sad, no? So, what do you think? Do you think the NYC can do something about it? Or
the NYC? No, I don't think so. No. No, even me? No, I don't think so. Well, no, let's put it this way. Yes, we can all have a collective, active, and strong voice about it and let our legislators do the job. Up to that extent, yes. But tama ka eh. You know what? We are considered part of the top 10 strongest social media users in the world. Even above Europe, the European countries and the American countries. And America, di ba? So, plus, just recently, I think January of 2015, we were named the #1 Facebook user in the world. In the world.
At least we're topping a list.
We're topping a list. And yet, there is this deficiency.
And yet, we share Adobo Chronicles like it's a fact.
That's right. No? Meron pa nga yan eh. Kasi I used the data a while ago during the talk. Although I wasn't able to mention this. The number of mobile users exceeds our population. Meaning, people have more than one phone.
Yes.
Diba?
At some point, I had 3.
Diba? You have 3. So imagine that. Imagine that. So yes, I think that it is about time for us to be, we are empowered. What more if we have the proper connectivity, the more offline graces, diba, from elsewhere.
So despite our issues with connectivity, which is hopefully being addressed by the NTC, and the hearings at the Senate, we are still the top social media user and mobile phone user, and among the top users in the world.
That's right.
So we have no excuse to miscommunicate.
Also, and so hindi mo pwede sabihin walang signal o kaya wala akong load or walang pwede naman
we
pero
still have issues, communication issues.
Meron pa rin. I still believe we have communication issues.
We're about to end tonight, and I'm very happy that you flew all the way to Cebu for us and for your event at the
The pleasure is mine. This is a long overdue thing, and babuti na lang nagkataon na meron na physically ang open mic ngayon.
Because I only see you on TV and on Instagram.
I see you there too.
Stalking me.
We see each other.
Oh my gosh.
I even have 3 accounts so that you would know it's me. I comment.
Yeah, I comment. By the way, before we close, that tiara that Marian wore at your wedding, where is it?
It's in the house of my mom.
Where does your mom live?
She lives somewhere in Quezon City.
It's a very beautiful tiara, Marian. It really suits her.
Thank you. I'll make that reach her.
Yes, can I borrow?
Oh no! Sana sinabi mo, dinala ko. Pwede
my
naman
God.
check-in yun
My
eh.
fault. Next time, ha? Elmer, ha? Next time.
Next time, ha?
He should bring the tiara. And because, it was a very beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
So, now, before we go, what is the one thing that makes you happy? Showbiz, government, or your family?
Family. Family gives me all the reason to do all these things. They give me my fuel, they give me my passion. It's where all the inspiration comes from. Even way back when I was studying, family was always my inspiration. And until now that I am having my own, I think it's going to multiply a millionfold.
Yes. If you were inspired then, all the more
Yes.
now. No? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Dingdong Dantes.
Commissioner.
We had a very passionate conversation with NYC Commissioner Dingdong Dantes. Until next week, this has been Mike Lopez, your host. Open mic every MWF on My TV. Good night and Godspeed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Parang bago lang ulit.